Hey guys, David Hill here. Hey, so listen, today I wanted to talk about change. And it's not just because we are living in an unprecedented, crazy time at a global level, but I wanted to talk about change as it's affecting us now, but also just in more of a wide scale idea of change. And the interesting thing is that at any given time, at any given point in anyone's life, everyone is always desiring change. There's just no two ways around it. I don't care how happy you are, how perfect your life is. Everyone at any given point in their lives desire change. And that can take on many different shapes, many different forms. Some people may want to see an improvement to their relationships. They might want to have an improved relationship with their spouse or an improved relationship with their kids. Some people might want to change in their freedom. They might want to have more free time. Some people might want to see a change in their financial situation. The point is that we all want change, and there, at least I hope not, there isn't ever a time in anyone's life where they don't desire some kind of change. Maybe it's health. Maybe they want to be in better shape. Maybe they want to eat at a healthier level. But everybody wants change. Now, the thing about change is that people will, well, change kind of comes in two different shapes or two different catalysts. The first type of change is it's the self-decision. It's a decision to make a change. And that type of change is actually, it's less common. It requires self-dedication. It requires motivation. It requires self-discipline. It requires this desire to take myself out of a place of comfort and to move myself into a place of discomfort, or out of a place of safety into a place of fear. And because of all those barriers, making a decision to change and actually moving forward with it and acting on it, it's less common. But what we're seeing now is a second type of change, and that is that forced transformation. It is a change that is being imposed upon us. And we're all seeing it. We're all living it right now, all the way down to the fact that we can't just go outside freely, the fact that we can't just run over to a restaurant and have a dinner, the fact that I can't take my kids to a movie. We are all having this change forced upon us. So that is what a lot of people are experiencing right now. And a lot of those changes aren't great. There are people that are losing their jobs. There are people that are having to go part-time. There are people that are having to shift from going into an office to working at home, and the challenges that can come with working at home. There are people being forced with the challenge of having their kids home full-time and not being in school. There's no argument that changes are being forced upon us right now at an unprecedented level. And it's not just us, it's a worldwide thing. It really is mind-boggling. But what I wanted to do today is I wanted to come on here and say, hey, this change, this forced transformation does not have to be a negative thing. It can absolutely be a positive thing. And that is the encouragement I have for you today. The encouragement that this change that's being pushed upon us, we can come through and make it a positive thing. You know, when we are threatened, when we have change forced upon us, you have the three F's, right? You have fight, flight, or freeze. And those three options will determine, for a lot of people, their lives and their livelihoods for the years to come because of this current situation that we're all living through. And I just wanted to come in here and encourage you that in these times, and one of the things that made me think about this and do a video on this today was I actually was on the phone with a new participant who's come into our program, and he's got various different businesses that he works in or that he runs, and some of those are undergoing challenges right now with our current state of affairs. And what I loved about my conversation with this guy was that he made a point of saying, hey, yes, I've got some challenges going on right now, but I refuse to go negative. I refuse to let this current situation allow negative thoughts to creep into my mind, to creep into my mindset. And he is determined to stay positive, and that is so important. And that's one of my encouragements to you today, is that in this time of change, in this time of forced transformation, probably the core, the most important thing that we can do in this time is to stay positive. And I know it's not easy. It just takes 10 seconds of turning on the news or going to your favorite news websites, and the headlines, they will take you to a very negative place very quickly. But that does not need to define us. The importance of staying positive, the importance of keeping a positive mindset it's more important today than it probably has been for a long time for a lot of us. And the reason why it's so important is that because if we keep positive thoughts, those positive thoughts will lead to positive actions, and the positive actions will lead to positive outcomes. And the opposite is true. If we let our heads fill with negative thoughts, well, guess what? Those are going to lead to negative actions, which are going to lead to negative outcomes. And so that is one of my big encouragements for you here today, is that if you are living through a time of forced transformation and it's not working out maybe the way that you had envisioned, and maybe you've done a complete 180 from where you were even 3 weeks ago, don't let the negativity take over. Remain positive, and through those positive thoughts, they will create positive actions, and positive actions will create positive outcomes. Cody and I, we were talking just a couple days ago, and we're in a place right now where we're just so thankful, and we've always been thankful. Being thankful has been a big component of who we are, super important to us, but now more so than ever, we are so thankful for so many things that we have, and the fact that what we do for a profession, A, is something that we love doing, but B, it's something that we can do from home and that we've been doing from home for years now. In a time like this, with this current world crisis, the ability to be able to work from home, it really is priceless. And for a lot of you out there, that was not the case a few weeks ago. For a lot of you, now you are at home and you were being forced to adapt. You are being forced to transform from a commute to your job and to your office to figuring out how to make it all happen at home. And the fact that, for a lot of us like myself, our kids are home full time now, that creates some challenges. And again, it's all about staying positive, and which we have done, and we've been thoroughly enjoying having our kids home as opposed to going to school. But for a lot of you out there, you're in this state of forced transformation. And for a lot of you out there, you might be being affected negatively by this whole thing. I know there are a lot of people that have lost their jobs. There are a lot of people that have had their hours cut back. There are a lot of people that are scrambling, trying to figure out how to get things done from home and are really worried about that. And so I just want to encourage you, first of all, man, just stay positive. Stay positive. The second encouragement is that, at least in our industry, in the land industry, because developers are looking so far ahead in terms of the time it takes to take a piece of raw dirt and get it through the approval process and get it built out, to get it into finished lots, and then to be able to go vertical and build the homes, most developers are looking 18 months out, 24 months out, 36 months out. And I covered this in a recent video, but it is, in terms of what we do, man, we're just so thankful that we are not in a job that is so affected by the immediate here and now. Because I do think that what we're living through is an immediate here and now. I do think that it will, obviously it's going to have some lasting effects on society, but I do think that this current crisis is going to go away in a relatively short period of time compared to other kinds of crises we've had before, other kinds of recessions we've had before that will last years and years. But to encourage you, that is an encouragement that I think most people will agree that this is a blip in the radar in terms of comparing it to other things that this world has been through. So be encouraged by that. But the second thing I want to say is that if you are in a situation where you are being forced to transform. You have these changes being pushed upon you. I want to encourage you to take a close look at what it is that we do. And you can do that by going to our presentation video. It's at vestright.com/action. We've got a video there that will describe what it is that we do, our strategy. And if it's something you're interested in, man, this might be a perfect time for you to make that change. And it might be a thing where it's not even so much of a choice anymore, but you're being forced into it. And that can be a great thing. If we see the positive in that, it can be a great thing. And maybe what we do isn't the change you're looking for right now. Maybe it has nothing to do, maybe it's not a passion of yours. And so if that is you, then yeah, I want to just absolutely encourage you that in times of change where it's being forced upon us, stay positive. Let those positive thoughts create positive actions, and let those positive actions create positive outcomes, because that will be the make or break for so many people right now, is how they decide to handle this change that they're going through. Will it be a fight? Will it be a flight? Or will it be a freeze? And for you, I want to encourage you to take a fight, take the fight to it, stay positive, and let this forced transformation be a game changer for you, but in a good way. All right, guys, I'll end it here, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care and stay safe.